to the ALCS Roundup of 2020-21. ALCS exists to support and champion and fight for authors. And most important of all, we're a collecting society and we exist to collect fees that individual authors cannot collect and to pay these out twice yearly in our distributions. Last year was challenging with COVID and with lockdown, but thanks to the efforts of our staff and those at the Copyright Licensing Agency, we managed to collect more than £40 million for the first time in our history. And more importantly, we made record payments of more than £38 million to over 95,000 members. We know these payments help authors and help support their writing careers. And when so many are struggling, it was great to be able to help so many of our members. Although our staff worked remotely throughout last year, it was very much business as usual at ALCS, and we've continued to support our members to the highest standards in all areas, even recruiting new staff across our various teams to ensure we give the best service we can.
Our membership has continued to grow with 3,500 new members. 1,788 of these new members were contacted and invited to join ALCS by our membership recruitment team. Making these connections enabled us to release £1.3 million to writers who we had collected money for. If you've been contacted by the membership recruitment team and have benefited from your membership of ALCS, please don't forget to tell your friends and colleagues, as we may be holding money for them too.
New income revenues helped us reach the 40 million figure. Payments were received for audiovisual works for the first time from Russia and Colombia, and a new source of income from Finland means that we now collect from 33 countries worldwide.
We helped launch AuthorShare, a scheme where authors receive a share of sales from their books purchased through online second-hand booksellers, World of Books and Book Barn International. This is a scheme very much in its infancy, but one that we hope will expand in the future to include other second-hand book retailers across the world and help reflect the principle of no use without payment.
And we rebalanced our investments this year by moving some monies out of equities and into a new, socially responsible investment fund.
We've continued to develop our website and are now collecting data on the websites and blogs that our members write. We've also developed a tool that suggests works that we think you may have written based on your name, making it as easy as possible for you to let us know what you've written.
Our information system continues to evolve to meet the challenging data environment in which we work in. And £40 million comes with a lot of data. By expertly matching hundreds of files to thousands of lines of data, we've made the complex easy to ensure that each member is paid out accurately for the reuse of their work.
We stayed connected and remained available to our members, some who experienced little human contact during lockdown and began their calls with, "How lovely to reach a real person."
We adapted quickly to a purely virtual world. And while we know our members like meeting us face-to-face by holding our AGM online for the first time, many more of our members were able to be involved. We also held the ALCS Annual Awards, focus groups, and regional meetings with the Society of Authors and ALCS members online to a wider audience.
We launched our Instagram account and hit new milestones on our social media interactions across Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you don't already follow us, we'd love for you to do so, as it's a great chance for us to keep you up to date on all things ALCS.
In our podcast Authors Matters and in ALCS News, we've interviewed a variety of writers on the different ways they make a living and on issues important to ALCS members such as public lending right and further financial support for authors.
We want all writers to thrive as a central part of our society. We have continued to support or sponsor a variety of projects that help new writers or disadvantaged sectors of the writing community get established, as well as mentoring schemes and initiatives that provide mental health support for creators.
Copyright is vital to creators. We spread the word about the importance of copyright to students of all ages, as well as writers and the general public through our partnerships and with copyright education resources.
We launched a successful pilot for Reteach, a free resource providing teachers with user-friendly guides covering challenging areas of the curriculum. The resource is designed to help teachers but also maintain the value of the existing educational licences that so many of our members benefit from.
We celebrate the values that writers bring throughout the world, fighting for their rights and giving them a powerful collective voice. In the UK, we've built and maintained relationships in Parliament. And this year we've had the best attended all-party writers group, AGM, that we've ever had. This year, we also supported the All-Party Writers Group inquiry into authors' earnings and how writers can be supported during the COVID crisis.
Our ALCS campaigns have led to MPs receiving over 800 emails and letters from members in addition to contact from the advocacy team. Thank you to those of you who took the time to get involved. It really makes a difference.
The International Authors Forum joined the White for Creators initiative at the World Intellectual Property Organization and has also worked on a publishers mentoring scheme in developing countries to ensure the needs of authors are considered in model contracts there.
So it has been a busy year all round at ALCS, and we hope we have made a positive difference to you, our membership. I'd like to finish by thanking all of our ALCS staff for the hard work which enabled us to achieve this record year. I'd also like to thank our board for the guidance they gave throughout a challenging year, and finally to thank you, our members, for your continuing support of ALCS.
Hello, my name's Tony Bradman and I'm Chair of ALCS, and I'm here reviewing the year, and unfortunately, again I'm talking about how it's been another very challenging year in which to be a writer. I am pleased to say though that through another extensive lockdown at the beginning of the year, ALCS managed to operate business as usual, something for which we writers are all very grateful. It's been a year that's brought about some positive changes for the organisation too, ones we hope will stick around long after this pandemic has ebbed away into the murky depths of history. Changes that proved in many cases that you don't need to be in the same room in order to remain connected to friends and colleagues. I hosted ALCS's first online AGM this time last year, and that was a daunting prospect because we'd never done it that way before. Although in the end, it's felt surprisingly intimate and inclusive. It certainly enabled more people to attend from all corners of the country than ever before. We were able to answer a lot more questions too, all with the added benefit of no one having to worry about train times or parking or even bad weather. So here we are, doing it again this year because it felt like it worked really well and enabled many more people to attend than is normally possible. It was a pity not to have the opportunity for a face-to-face chat and a drink with members afterwards. But we're aiming to do more of that around the country in due course, so watch this space. As part of our international work, ALCS has been involved in the production of the International Authors Forum, Creating a Living series of online events, which have gone even further in terms of reach and have brought together writers from across the globe online. These events included writers and representatives from countries across the world who would otherwise very likely not have been able to attend in person. And somehow, the worldwide pandemic has managed to bring together people in a way that would have seemed impossible before. There's also another word that's impacting us authors right now, and that's Brexit. It's been playing second fiddle for a while to the virus, but it's no less threatening to our potential incomes. ALCS has been working hard over recent months with the Publishers Association, the Society of Authors and other industry representatives to save our books, a campaign which is urging the government not to change how copyright works, a prospect which looks to be being considered. Closer to home, we've also been campaigning to encourage the UK government to consider an increase to the PLR pot as part of their spending review, It hasn't gone up for a very long time. Both campaigns have seen over 800 members writing to their MPs, and we managed to raise the issues with over half of the MPs in Parliament. Your voices and support have really helped us raise these vital issues for writers with parliamentarians. ALCS is at its core a writers' organisation run by writers for writers. I'd like to thank my fellow writers and colleagues on the board of directors for all their work in this year in guiding and directing ALCS so astutely. Our commitment to the membership remains the same regardless of the climate we're in. Our team are dedicated to ensuring we collect as much for you as possible, and also in ensuring we get this money to you as efficiently and effectively as possible. We'll continue to work hard on your behalf, whatever the circumstances, and let's hope next year will be even better.